Hello, Russ Scott from scottcarvings.com, and I'm coming back to doing the Mrs. Santa. We finished Mr. Santa. And there's Mrs. Santa. Now, the difference between the two is a thing did not mention last time. Not only I told you that we got a 2 by 2.5, about 2 by 2.5 ish, but we were about 4 and a 4.5. And what we're going to do is create a Mrs. Claus. And as I have mentioned before, here's Mrs. Claus, that I always tell you to, when you got an idea or concept or whatever, always start with a smaller piece of wood and work with it. And with that, you can see all the mistakes that you did and what we're going to do different. One of the things that I did wrong on this one, let's see if we can zoom in a little bit. And we're going to try to do a change up, is of course the smile. Is I had the mouth too far down into the chin. And when we want to have her to smile, because she's a nice lady. And so what happens is that when you smile, that upper lip comes up. I always thought that the jaw comes down when you smile, but that's not particularly true unless you're, big laugh, or she says ho ho ho, or mouth wide open, then the jaw may come down. But a simple smile, what will happen is that the cheeks will go up. The cheeks will go up, and the lips will come up, and it'll drop the bottom lip will basically kind of stay put, and then that's what will create this smile. And that's one thing that it is different, or what we're going to do that's different. Another major difference is the neck here. I had the neck a little too long. Now, if you're going to create a nice, beautiful woman, you would have a longer neck. The longer the neck, the more beauty, I guess, that it is. And so, just like Santa here, is I said the chin was about here, and then the shoulder will be just barely, hardly any, if any, neck at all. We'll give her a little bit of a neck. So in other words, the shoulder will come about here. Now I got what I did with this piece is I was going to begin to cut, and I thought, no, I better not. And the reason why I'm going to flip this over is I see I got a bad bottom here, so I'm going to go this way. And the reason why I wanted to do some cutting is so we could cut away this part. And the thing with Mrs. is her hat. She's got one of these, I don't know what you call these muffin hats or whatever they're called. It's a very clothy hat. And what happens is that if this was ironed out, it would be straight, it'd be flat. But then as you and I don't know if there'd be some elastic in it, I'm not sure. But since she's wearing it, it's all loose and it does all this crinkly stuff. It may be wider this way, shorter this way, higher this way, and all that. Like I said, it'll be a round shape and then a funny shape on each one. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail with the hat. It's going to be kind of something like this. Just take the knife and do a little bit of this on that and a little bit of that on this, and just to make it different. Another thing that I noticed that I think I got goofed up was here. I got a little too much there. And I got the hair here. I'm not particularly sure what to do with. I mean, I don't want to put an ear in. I'll do ears at another time. So an ear would be like right about here, and it would be like about here. We probably could put the ear in, or do we put just hair? Let me think on it for a little bit. I mean, when you look at it like this, it's kind of okay, except for there's no ear, or there's no hair to cover the ear. That is a good question. Which one we can do? I'll probably go with the ear. And it's going to be a sort of a half ear because the ear would start about here and end about here. So it would be kind of a half ear. Anyways, as we go. So the reason why I want to have a full piece of wood, a full width of wood, even though it's going to be a little wider, is that, like what I did here, is I used all of that wood for that to come. If she just simply had her hair alone, then we could have cut this out. Anywho, so let's get started. As I said, here's my array of tools. Got the round tools again. I'll be using the round tools more. Let me open up here. Use number 11s. I'll be taking a number 9 out. I'll probably use it once or twice, but these are the major, and the V/L tool, as I mentioned before. And there's my Scout from OCCT. Same with my other knife, my rough out knife, OCCT. And then I got my rough out number 5. That's what I'll probably start with, just to get things rounded off. And with that, let me take a quick wet the whistle here. And away we go. I want to do some penciling, some commitment here, as it were. And as I have mentioned before, let's put the center line in before we forget. Am I still in? There you are. All right. I think that might be a little off, but. And as I, excuse me, as I have mentioned before, is that let's see, the width of the length of the head is basically the same as the width or the depth of the head, give or take, or the skull is. So then we're going to have a little bit of that puffiness and whatever, so it's about here. Using a little bit for the hat. Same with the hat here. So the chin will be about here. Now let's see if this is right. Because what I want to do is I want her to be a bit smaller. I should probably shave some of that off. Let's see, we probably use all of that. So I want the eyes to go about here. Oh, we're visiting our cat is visiting. That's more like what I want to go by. If you were carving this by yourself, or as is, pardon me, then you'd use this measurement. But if I'm going to put these two together, she's going to be I got her a little shorter. That's a little shorter. And with that, we'll do the eyes. And I could see things might be a little off, just a little bit. If she's exactly the same height, is okay too. But if we were to put the eyes there, and I would say the beginning of the hat, so it's getting pretty close. Or maybe if I had a little more, yeah, because I'm going to bring this down. So I think that I'm going to go with that eye line. And if I have to take a lot more top off to make it smaller, so be it. And her chin, I'll make her chin about here. Because the measurements aren't precise, other than I want this bust to fit this bust, is what I'm going on. And it'll be okay, one way or the other. Ethel? Do you want to let me carve here? Get your tail out of the... Is her tail out? Where's her tail? Anyways, let's hope she doesn't pester too much. I even have a picture of her when I was actually doing a step-by-step for Wood Carving Illustrated, and she just had to stick her nose up there and right into the camera, right into the lens, and I even sent that in as they got a kick out of that. They didn't use it in the. But anyways, let's go with this. I might have to end up cutting some of this off, so let's go right about here. Bring the neck down just a little. Yeah, okay, it'll work out if I did that. Bring this, give her a little more chin, and then the shoulder will be about here-ish. Let me see, is that right now? Eye, chin, and then we're not going to have as much neck. And we might have to end up, I might have to bring this to the saw. But let's get started here. And if this is the crown, then therefore this is this part here. And we're going to have this how it's hanging up like this. That's why we want the width. And we're okay with it not being as thick because the hat is coming down. If it was like straight out like this, then we would want a perfect circle plus the nose. But since it comes down, we're okay with this being a little flat. So we're going to go here is the bottom around. Just kind of, I want to kind of commit, or not, commit, but get the feel. Oh, this is going to go, the shoulder is here with a little bit, yeah, okay, so it's working out. It's working out a little bit here. Now, as we mentioned before, is that the nose is about half-ish down. Or maybe even less then, because she's got a little pug nose. A little, nice nose, not a big Santa nose. And so it'd be something like this. The grin is here. Eye, does that look good? Hair. I like to do just a little bit of drawing to make sure everything, oh, we'll do. Let's do the nose a little bit shorter. Maybe bring this down a little bit more. Because what's going to happen again, the cheek's going to come up. The smile line is here. There's a little bit of a smile there. So just get kind of the feel. Then her hat is going to come down. A little bit of, maybe a little bit of hair. I don't know. Hair or ear. Yeah, let's just do the hair. I don't know. I'm still, unless we'll have the hair. Maybe have the hair. Yeah, if I would have done this and kept going with the hair and have it underneath. So it's interesting having a change up. And if you see this video, that means it must have worked. If you're on the other end of this. And with this, what I want to do is kind of put the center line here and somewhat round it here. Commitment to a roundish, or in this case, an oval-ish. So let's get it started. Like I said, I'm going to put my cuticle glove on. And just rounding the edges mostly is what we want to do. You want to get your tail out of there, Ethel? Her name is Ethel because she was the second cat. The first cat was Lucy. And for all of you of my age, know what that means. Now I'm just going to, with the shoulder just a little bit here. Now I want to commit a little bit to the shoulder. Now the wood is wrong direction here. So I have to do this, bring it around. With the shoulder semi-committed here. And this is just to round it off so it'll be easier to hold. It'll end up being rounded off anyways. And so a little bit of rounding. Now it's the other direction here. Or no, same direction. Now this thing here is just, we're just taking the edges off here. It goes this way. Am I still in? Give or take-ish. This is the boring part. This is like, I mean, I'm really not teaching you much or showing much. I'm just simply taking a lot of to get this thing started. Let's get this started. Kind of a step. Now, I might end up taking this to the saw, but I'm not sure yet. If I can probably give it a try. Oh, good. She's off the table. She sees something near the window. Oh, yeah, I can do this. I'm going to round this just a bit for the sake of rounding. Okay, I'm going to take this off for a while. Let's take the knife and round just to play with it a little bit. Doing some more roughing out. Rounding, roughing out. Gonna somewhat commit to the shoulders. Well, what the heck? I got the tool out. Let's take my big number 11 just to put this in. There we go. What the hey? That'll just kind of show us not to go too far when we get a little happy with the knife and the chisel. Okay, now what I want to do is make a commitment to the bottom of the hat, and like I said, I want this thing to come straight down. I think we can almost have it hit. Let's hit the shoulder. Darn close to, if not hit the shoulder. Hit the back, shoulder back. We can always bring that back. And that's what I want to do right away. Put the old cuticle glove back on. And where's the V? In this case, the L tool, because we want to get away from the hat into the hair, or I want to say the brim. And we're just getting started. This does kind of look like it's really wide and really. It's kind of interesting how the hat brim itself almost becomes insignificant when you look at the head, or the shape of the head, making sure that the head is in decent proportion. And that's what we're really committing to here. We could, I want to go here. We could commit to this too. Oops. The commitment to that. Let's do that. So again, away from the brim towards the hat. And it's very interesting how, same with the Santa, we're spending a lot of time on the figure, on other things other than the face, which is basically what I wanted to show in the first place. But again, like I said, you could put any other hat in there. Like I said, and then all these others here is, like for example, what I might do, either keep these guys like this, or I can do something, make a little bust, either little busts, finish it off, or we could make them little ornaments. Either which way. Okay, now we're going to come back with a little bit more commitment to making, I want to be careful with what to do here. I think we still got plenty for the ear or hair. And I want to start getting closer and closer to the nose and make it, but not too much. I want to be careful leaving some extra. So in other words, it's not going to be a full 90-degree angle. It's going to be probably about a 60-degree angle because I want to leave some for cheek. Hopefully I did. Oops. Same with the back. Just a little bit here. Oh, like I did promise, I was going a little slower. I don't know, do I need to go slow when it comes to taking the big chunks out? Ooh, I didn't get the V there, or the L. The L shape. Then I want to take quite a bit off here. Oops, wrong way. I'm going to get it started, but I think I might end up using one of my round tools. Let me get a little bit more of that off. You see what? See, that's what I'm doing is I'm just trying to take that top off, just enough to kind of commit to where the top of the hat's going to be. And I want to be careful because I want that hat to come here. So this, I don't want to get too whack happy with that. And it's the same here, where I do go back a little bit, but I want to go down. Let's get the V again. This time we'll use it as a V just to get some of this off of here. To get that kind of, get this rounded. I'm taking some of this off. And we'll come back later, I suppose. I would like to get as much of the big heavies off, because as soon as I start playing with the face, that's when we can get into some detail. And I didn't want to hurt the. One of the things that when you're doing this kind of work, and you're putting a lot of muscle in and energy in, and then when you start doing little details, you get carried away. So I think what I'll do is I'll start other stuff and then maybe come back to it. We do a little bit of this first. I got my number 11, oh, I don't know, about 10-ish. 8 to 10 mils. Okay, then I'm going to leave that. Let's just take a knife to kind of make it a little more cleaner. Yeah, define clean. Use that flat edge for cleaner cuts. There we go. And there it is. I forgot to look at the clock to remember what that is. Now this is round 2 here. I did mention starting on um, Valentine's Day. In fact, yesterday was mattress sale day, President's Day. Had to take care of some things between Santas. Now, another thing I want to start committing to, in other words, when it comes to, again, we're going to have to be pulling a lot of lumber off. As I have mentioned, this is the shoulder, and the shoulder will be about here, and it arcs up just a little bit, and it comes back down to the other shoulder just a little bit. And what's going to happen, and then this is where the chin is going to be. What's going to happen is this is the deepest part, as I've mentioned before, where the chin is going to come down here. This is what we're at right here. This is the deepest part. There's the shoulder, even though the neck is a little too long on this one. But this is like the deepest part where the neck's going to come up, the chin's going to come out. I think I got the chin a little too near. I think I should have cut in a little more. And then the chest comes down. And she's going to have sort of this nice little, this kind of a thing. And then probably a little bit of this and this is what she's going to have. This one's going to have. Okay, and we still got the face is still wide and everything, but I still want to commit to this. And as I've said, this is the deepest point. Chin is here. I'll just kind of put a little bit about where the chin is. And I end up burying the edge, using the flat edge to widen, using the flat edge to widen on this side. Now once I got this going here, now I can start in with my second largest. All right, where's this? I want to cut this off right here. So it's like a big chip, a big triangle. Again, just getting started. Just getting the wood off. And then, so we can get to a point where we can adjust, just a little bit of rounding of the face. Just barely a little bit. Then I want to do quite a bit of this. Okay. Just getting started. You can see we're going to go a little deeper, but you can see where we're going. Now it's time for my bigger round. Make sure I stay here. Bring this around a little bit. And I'll show you in a little bit. So we're rounding. So you can see the neck is starting to come out. Let's bring these over here so I don't lean on it, because I'm going to be doing some more power carving here. Now I want the chin. That is the chin there. I better start with a knife. Here, let's use a round tool here. Where the chin is, just a little bit. And then I want to go deeper and deeper. Now we will be rounding the chin a little more, but we want to get I want to get the neck in. And I want a smaller tool as to where that shoulder / neck is going to be. I think it's going to be a little higher here. I think we need to bring it up. I think I may have lifted it a little bit. Let me do this and I'll show you. I'm just kind of still getting there. Right now it's still a V. It's not as Yeah, it does go in. The neck goes in, and it should go this way. So in order to do that, I want the chin to go in just a little bit, and then go down this way. And we will be doing more adjusting. I just want to get a lot of the heavy stuff out of it. I think we're going to even go deeper, I believe. And I'm still trying to create there's the chin. And then we go at an angle deeper this way. And we're still working on it. There's still chin, neck, neck and shoulder. So we got most of that off in there. And what's next is, what are we going to do about the hair? We're going to do hair or ear. Let's see. See, it's going to start like this. It's going to start like this. Depends on how we want to come down. If we go like this, then we can avoid the ear. But then we won't have much for the hair, unless do we want to have her to have hair coming down. We want a ponytail. The reason why you're thinking, well, gee, you should have had this plan before you started doing this. But well, plans usually change. That's number one. And number two is just I want to get you into more of a developing your own stuff. That's the main thing I'm trying to teach. I've always wanted people to come up with their own stuff. And a lot of times it will come up during, as you're developing, as you're carving along. So I want to do that. I want to avoid the ears. And that's probably just going to come back, and there's probably going to a bun that's up and up front. So let's do that. I just don't want to make this too overly complicated. So we're not going to have. Now we probably could have had that. Well, here's the other thing too. The Mrs. Old World Santa, I just have the hair coming out like this. So it's more of a European style. So we can have some hair. You know, there's really no rules or whatever other than she's got a female face. And we can do long hair. All right, so with that, where's my L? V or L, that's all right. Committing to some of the hair, we can adjust later. And we'll come back here for now. Probably come back up a little bit. Maybe I should just carve for a while because it's up my throat here. I don't think I'm not telling you much. Now let's get, since the ears are covered, here we go. What are we going to do with the head here? Oh, excuse me. As I have mentioned, you know, this is still way too wide. I'm just going to take a piece at a time. Is that I want to leave a lot for the cheek, even though the chin will come in here. I don't want her to be too overweight as much. I just it could still be really nice looking and overweight at the same time. You know, I just want this to be not only a friendly but still beautiful to look at. Mrs. Claus always is beautiful to look at. Just take it wood away. Flat, as flat as you can. Ooh, am I still in? Oh. And bring up the shoulder a little bit. All right. Just taking one piece at a time here. And just as we go, like I said, this is mostly, we're just really tearing into the wood is what's happening here. This is wood tearing, wood walloping. As flat as you can. I had to use the tip here. Yeah, a little flat as you can. I didn't have to use the tip. And get into the shoulder a little bit here. And if I have to, let's take the round tool to at least take a lot of that lumber off, and then we can adjust. Oops, careful the tip of that knife. Am I still in? Now I'm right now, like Mr. Ho Ho Ho, I'm got the angle a little wide because I'm doing a lot of plowing here. But when I start doing detail, that's when I'll bring it up. I'm going to do more detail, but right now, all right. I just want to take an extra one of just one of these off here, just to. It's not really going to hurt the cheek, but it does round the face a little bit, just to keep our bearings straight here. Though right now she does look quite portly. We might keep it a little bit that way, but I still want I want those cheeks. All right, next is a little bit of commitment here. And what's going to happen is going to come up. She's going to have a larger forehead, but still it's going to be rounded a bit. I'm just doing this for the commitment. Oops, where are we with the eyes? Let's keep the eyes. And the center line. And with that, just a little bit here. Just a little bit on the chin here. Not too much on the cheek. A little bit of going straight in. Angle down. Straight in. Angle down. I'm just doing this for the sake of shaping, because I'm going to get to the next step here. Straight in, angle down, and we'll use the round tools to do this better. Right now you can see how choppy it is, the neck, but we'll use the round tools. And I'm just going to just shape the face a little bit. Let's go on here and just a little bit of this. Now watch the cheek. I want to save some of that cheek. Come up here, save a little bit of that cheek. Now this one's going to be a little different. Now when we get into the Mr. and Mrs. Old World Santa, it's going to be much easier. Mrs. Old World, I'm going to have her as sort of a nice, she doesn't have to, there's no rules to, oh, where did Mr. Old World go? Oh yeah, there's no really any rules. He's thin, he's not the big fat ho ho ho. But with the Mrs., she's a ho ho ho, Mrs. Ho ho ho, which means there's going to be quite a bit of cheek, which we are going to start with the nose, just a little bit of the nose, to know where the nose is. And only a little bit. What is that? Not even an eighth of an inch. Barely. We can dig deeper. Again, let's get the eye line way out so that when we start whacking away here, we're still okay with having it, because I still want to have that nose just a little round, just a nice little round cutesy nose still. Oh, there's still more to go, but Just getting a commitment to it. When we get to the eyes and everything else, it'll be more rounded. Okay, we're going to do the same thing with me reaching down and taking a little bit of here. And I'm going to do the same thing with her, where I'm going to make it a very narrow, about 20 degrees by 20 degrees at an angle like this. Where are you? Like this. Down, down. Now, again, the reason why I like to do the knife first and then followed by a chisel is that the knife helps guide the chisel a little bit. And so we still got some good cheeks. Now her nose, I'm going to make her maybe a little wider. Same thing, away from the nose. Where are you? And then just barely, again, another 20 by 20 degrees. Same thing over here, away from the nose. Actually, should have gone at a better angle. And just 20 degrees, just a nice sharp. Here you go, sharp. And you can see we got some cheeks going on here. All right, now I just want to take this, just kind of moving things along, kind of a thing is take this chip. And again, this would still make a decent, as is, almost makes a pretty decent flat plane carving. Just getting started here. I'm going to try some of those flat plane carvings. Now I want a round thing because we're going to take the nose. Now here what we're going to do is the nose is going to be at an angle like this. Angle like this. So angle this way, not straight up and down, this way. And do something like that. I think the cheeks, we'll do something with the cheeks. Keep the cheeks or whatever. And I just want to, just to round things, get this here. Just for the sake of rounding, let's take a little bit of the square off, a little bit of angle off, just to... Okay, I want to pencil in, oh, I'm sorry, before we get started here. Oh, here's what we're going to do right away, I think. This is different from the Santa because there's no chin. So this is where something that's really new as opposed to Mr. Whiskers here. Is from here is we want to cut this down at an angle like this. And see all of this that we did with the chin, where we're going to be shaping some more. Oops, 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 careful, careful. I went too far up on that end. I think we're still okay. Oops, careful, you don't hurt yourself. There you go. Hold on, let me get, and look at this is the nose. Nose, it comes out and then down. That's what we're working on. See that again there? Sorry. So kind of like where we are so far. I did round the cheeks, the chin, cheeks a little bit, just getting the eyes started. Now, I'm not going to clear this out. Now, if she was just, like again, just a Mrs. or lady who's just got a straight smile, I would have done more carving here. But I want to leave that for now, and we can always take that away if we want to. And I'm just going to pencil this in. Okay, here's going to be the upper lip. Here is the chin, or cheek. Cheek is going to do something like this, almost like kind of like the clown look. Right here. And I'm going to do something like this. This is just to get our feel. And then what's going to happen is the mouth is still going to come almost straight. And then the bottom lip. Just getting kind of the feel, because that's all going to go away in a minute here. And I might want to do let's do the, well, let's do this first because I got a pencil ready to go. Let's get a nice wide number 11. I want to start whatever tool, round tool you have is like kind of the widest. The thing I like about 11s is that you won't have you won't be burying your edges as easily as you do with the number 9, even though this one and or this one. Now, if you got a number 9, that is a 9, isn't it? Yeah, there's a 9 because it doesn't go all the way up. And you may even want to take a wider tool and do something like this, or an even wider tool. So this is a number 9. So in other words, I'm not going to go too deep. Now I got to be careful we don't get too chippy here. And you might have to start, turn around, and then continue. Because if you start on one end, because the way the grain turns is that if you start one end, you might end up chipping the other. And I always like to start wide. Oops, I think I hope I didn't hurt that. I got to do this on the other side, make it uniform. Let's take a larger or smaller number 11 and follow in. And see, we're still keeping it nice and smooth. Let's do that again. And then I want to come here. And again, we're going to make all kinds of adjustments as we go. Because what we want to do is we want to create a cone, I want to call it a smile bevel. Technically, because a lot of this is probably going to go away. I'm just getting started. A lot of stuff is going to go away. Where's my number 9 again? I might end up doing something like that. Let's do that now, because the reason why I want to do that now is because I want to get that cone going. Is when you get the smile. Let's see, did I do okay here? I got too much cheek here, so we want to see that smile. We want a 3-dimensionality. When you got a profile, we want to see that mouth, that smile. Did we do that with Santa? This Santa. Now this one here, yeah, his whiskers got in the way. Now I want to take a knife. Oh, you know what? At this point, I think it's getting close time to use my Scout. I love this knife. And just don't bury the tip on the roundness. Just making it round. Yeah, don't put the tip in that round. You're just rounding it. Same with on this side here. Get out of there. You're just rounding it just for now. I mean, I'm sure we're going to come back and do some more adjustments, but at least we're getting it going. Don't put the tip in the roundness where meaning the edge of or the bottom of the chisel. Even though this one here has got a little extra. And I think what we're going to do is, where's my bigger 11? I want to come down a little bit more here. And what's going to happen? Now, this is where we got to do a lot of work. This is not a matter of, well, this is quite embarrassing. I ran out of power, and I didn't know when. I ran out of rum, and oh, dear Lord, how much I saw quite a bit. This is where we are right now. 2 things that I pointed out was for you to take your Santa, your first Santa, and measure whatever measuring implements you want, because we want the face to be relatively the same size-ish. That's why I wanted to take some off before we started committed to something when it's too wide. I gave her just a little bit more. Just a little bit more to play with. And want her really cheeky. The other thing that I've done was I took my round tool, where's my number 11, and I went across and did this. Like I said, when you go across, make sure you favor the forehead a little bit. Go towards the forehead. Don't take anything off from the cheek. It will round the forehead a little bit. So I'll let you catch up on that. Get a nice round tool. And then I put the lines back in for the nose here. Those are the two major things that have happened. So I'll let you catch up. I'm sorry about that. And when you do, as a matter of fact, sorry about that. Those are just the two things that I did. I just thinned the face a little bit and then brought the round tool for the eyes. Basically, I believe. You can probably pause and catch up. Sorry about that. But anyways, we'll take the pencil and start moving on as soon as you're ready. I think we'll just zoom in a little bit. What I want to do is, like I said, raise the cheek here. I did get this started, and I realized we needed the face to be thinner, and then we want to come down here like this. And that will create a better cone. And we can always bring the cheeks back a little bit. Where's my smaller round? Like I said, go one way and then the other. The other. And then one way. Now I would have this closer to me because I'm a little leery about having it far away from my body and slip and take the nose off. And you could see that when we round this, you could start seeing the mouth. And I believe I did mention we did this a little bit, but I had to make it thin. Don't bury the tip. Just rounding it a little bit. I have to keep my eye on. Just rounding, taking the corners off. Now the thing that I believe if I mentioned was that we needed the eye to kind of show or give us an idea how the mouth is, how wide the mouth is going to be. That's why I did this. Trying to commit more to how the eye is going to be. So if we did this, and let's put this in. I got my small number 11. And I'm going to come in and go down pretty deep. Where are you? I want her to have somewhat of a wide nose. And you turn as you push. Push and you turn a little bit. Turn and twist. And that pretty well commits to some depth there. Again with the knife. You know, while we're at it, I'll let you look at that while I reach and get my brush handy here. Let's see if that'll take some of that off, and it does not. Can I just push? No, there's still some in there. They're still connected. Because what I want to do is just a little bit around, just a little bit. Oops, I got maybe too much more than I needed. Now with this, making this kind of a commitment. The eyes are about here. Oh, where's my mechanical? Mechanical, and I did neglect to put the eye line back in. Sorry. Unfortunately, this pencil has a harder lead. And so the eye is going to be like about here and here, the same distance, give or take. Therefore, in the center would be where about the the iris is going to be. All right, this is what I did. Therefore, if we come down, it will be about here. But since, so this would be like minimum, because since the cheek is raised, it pulls the lip. Therefore, we're going to have a little bit more than that. So then, therefore, it would actually, so since that's this where it's just maybe a little bit of roundness, but mostly flat, is where a little whiteness, so that's where the mouth is going to be. And as I have mentioned, this is where a lot of the everything will come to these points. All right, so now with that, I want to get a whiter tool. How white is too white? Let me get my number 9 here, or 7. And what I want to do is I want to keep making the barrel. Rounding the barrel is what I'm trying to do. So I want to commit to the top of the mouth. Now I'm going to go about to 10 degrees this way, away from the teeth. And then I want to, probably about 20 degrees, because we're going to shape the lips. The lips will be shaped later. Now, she doesn't have a big upper pucker, as it were, because of when you bring the lips, when you widen the lips, her lips will become much more thinner. And so I want just a little more depth, just a wee bit more. Just a wee bit more now. Like I said, it's going to come in here, it's going to come deep. And I'm going to kind of commit to this here. Like I said, everything is going to go to that point, and it's going to go right into the cheek. Same here. Because I'm going deeper is what I'm aiming for, not so much wider. It's going to be a little wider, but more deep. Now we can see a little bit of that. We're going to shape the cheek a little more. Now that we've widened the mouth, now comes the fun part. Boy, I can see, wow. I'm getting distracted. I'm getting intercepted here. What I want to do is let's do this. I want to do one of these to help me with the cheek here, the upper cheek. All right. Now, as for the bottom lip, now generally, when we do a face, it would be the halfway point. So generally the halfway point between here and here was supposed to be the nose, and then from there, the halfway point would be the bottom of the lip. So that's kind of getting there okay. I suppose that'll be okay. So we'll put that bottom lip and then it comes up about here. Am I still in? And I want to start commitment with a wider tool. Where is a nice, here's my, now this is my second smallest of 11. And just, I want to just underneath the line, underneath that line, and come up and go to that point. The thing that I've known about especially doing the lip is that when you get these little furs here, little furry things here, use the knife and don't flick it off. Otherwise you'll break the lip. Go down. See, it's starting to shape. Getting there. It's a little rounder. I think we'll get maybe a little deeper, or maybe a little deeper with the same tool. One more. Yeah, okay, now it's falling off, so I don't have to worry too much. Is that gonna? No, I'm gonna take the knife, even though I'm relatively sure it wouldn't pull. Are we getting better here? All right. Now what's going to happen? Let's round this. Take the pencil mark off while rounding it just a little bit. Just a little rounding down. And of course, there'll be still more shaping, and there's going to be more depth. In the opening part of the mouth. And then I want to still rounding. So we're getting there. Now here's the trick. The bottom lip is my enemy. I want to get a wider. Is this my number 9? And first of all, I want to get rid of this. I'm getting rid of this part here. And I'm turning it around the chin and down. All right. So there's still going to be a little bit adjusted. What's supposed to happen is you got the lip, the big lips here, and it's supposed to sort of like disappear. That's my other problem. Is it start with I think I'm using I need a rounder tool or a wider tool in order to do that. And you know what? I think I might need my visor. And that what's going to happen is that lip is supposed to disappear. That part of the bottom lip is supposed to disappear. And that's what I'm going to try to do, is try to make that disappear. All right, I'm going to move on and make the upper lip just a little wide. What's going to happen is wide like, where are you? Wide like this, in which we're going at an angle like this, and we're going at an angle like this. Just give us a little upper lip. Oops, I want more lip in the center. More lip in the center, but I want it wide. All right. She's kind of, that's kind of a, yeah, she's kind of a little perturbed with Santa right now. Okay, here we go with, where's my smallest? Right here. You can even take a knife. I'm going to start with a knife and then use my smallest chisel. What's going to happen here? You know, what would happen if I did? Take my reading glasses off, regular glasses back on, and then put my visor on. And as I mentioned with the Santa, when I use the visor, and I want to get in there for you, but I am going to be banging into the camera a lot. So, oh, now I see what's going on. I see all the problems and everything. I'll start on this side. I just want to make the nose a little rounder. So we can use the knife to be a little sharp and create this angle. And I think if we use the knife, then we can come back with the chisel to round it a little bit more. I like that better, is using a knife at first, because you have more control. And what's going to happen is, let's do a little bit of this. Now this is, like I said, it goes right down, that disappears right there into this spot right here. And you can see things are starting to shape up. Again, I want to get back to this, this to be even deeper. Let's get deeper here. And you see this is starting, and we want this to disappear. Where are you here? Did that help some? With the exception of these little boogers or whatever. And I'm going to do the same on this side. Now this I'm going to come down just a little bit, come down. Then I want to, make sure you're in there. Something looks kind of funny. Round. Now this here, that's the same here. I want to round this here. Round that there. I want to, like I said, it comes to that tip there, or that tip, it comes to that point there. Let's bring that back. Where are we still in? Now the thing is she still has that ish face. I don't like the ish face, and I think it's probably a lot to do with the eyes. And I think it's going to be quite a bit of adjustment that's going to happen. Like I said, the bottom lip should be below. What is below? Below the left, below the top lip. Remember, I want that to go away. I'll have to come back with my chisel again. Round this. And the bottom lip is still coming out a little bit more. I might want to just leave it at that. And now it's a matter of adjustment. Let me get my number. That's number 7. Where's that number 9 I had? Where are you? I keep coming up with the 7 here. Here. Where are you? Careful. Where's the knife? And see how it disappears. Again, I want to round this some more and make this almost disappear. There we go. Round this some more, round, and make this disappear as I'm rounding, coning the top of the lip Let me do that quick. And there we go. Now it's a little bit of picking, but what I want to do here, a little bit of experimentation. Hopefully everything we find, like I said, I want to come back with the chisel and do a little bit of rounding, just a little bit of rounding. So there's more roundness instead of sharpness. And I hate to say this, I think I said it before, I'm still trying to learn how to make good female faces and smiles, and especially when it comes to the lips. All right, how does that look so far? Like I said, the bottom lip, I'm almost to the point where it's good enough. Yeah, it does still have that ish look. I hate the ish look. I think I just keep needing to keep adjusting and adjusting. Round, a lot of roundness and a little wideness here too. Oh, cat has just knocked down my sun barrier. And with that, I think I might have to, like I said, this has got to disappear, disappear, disappear. Yeah. Well, there we go. We'll just have to keep adjusting. I think because I got too much sharp cheek, that gives it kind of the ish look. Well, let me put the barrier back up. I'll be right back. Let's see. Hello. There we go. After a little bit of thinking through, I think what's missing is we may have to go a little bit deeper. On the edges here to help. There we go. I think it is helping. I think. And I think what's happening here too is come down there. Well, I just wonder if we just got too much cheek. I'll work with the cheeks for a while, and I think that's what the problem is. I mean, I want lots of cheek. I think what's missing, I think the problem here, I think this is it right here, is take some of this off. If that helps some. She's just too cheeky. Oops, careful, I didn't get that tip in the round part. I think it helps some. I'll come back to the lips a little later. I think if maybe I have to have less upper lip. I think that's another thing too. I got too much upper lip. I think it's helping. I think I got just too much upper lip. I can always bring the upper lip back. I'm just going to take quite a bit of it off. And I think it brings there, that's a bit better. Okay, what I want to do is halt for a moment here and get back to the neck and the things, figure the shoulder a little bit, and then everything else. Like I said, the eyes are the last thing we want to do because I want to concentrate on the eyes. But right now, let's get back to shaping. Let's bring this back a little bit. All right, and that, take the visor off. Let's see if I can move my barrier a little bit here. It isn't. Let me get back to you. All right. Let's get back on shaping the shoulders and, well, there's a little bit of a neck, and a little bit of a neck, and then we're going to come down and this, and of course, like I said, it's going to have a little bit of a tassel kind of a thing in her dress. But I want to kind of commit to this. Now, how is this sitting with Santa so far? Yeah, so far, so good. Oh, the other thing I did too, you didn't notice, if you haven't noticed, I did make the bust like I did with Santa. Cut the bust part of it. Take some of that hair too while I'm shaping here. I take a little bit of that hair off while I'm plowing, doing some plowing work here. Am I still in? Yeah. All right, let's take a little bit of roundness here. Making sure this is round. And then around here, how does it look? How does she look? All right, let's bring the rounder tools by taking most of the junk out of there. And remember, a little bit here, I kind of lowered, since we lowered the shoulders a little bit. Bring the neck out a little bit more. Now I want to bring, what can I do here? I want to bring the chin straight in. A little bit of roundness here. What I want to do here, get that out of the way, get the pencil back. Get the pencil back. What's going to happen is this, the ear is about here-ish, so, which we're not going to cut. We're not going to create, so that goes there. See, we're just a little, just about halfway. And so it's going to come down like this. Oh, my big rough out knife back. There we're getting. Same with over here. Still shaping. Now what? Yeah, it's getting close. Time for me to need to sharpen my knife as well. I mean, it cuts okay, but not as clean cut as I want it to be. And there we go with the scrape again. Keeping those cuts relatively clean. Okay, let's draw in, and the neck is getting there. Pencil. Get chunk out of there. Okay, I want a little bit of roundness of the neck. So it's going to be a little bit of the, maybe a little bit of her chest. Maybe the clavicle, or what do you, clavicle, what do you call that? I already forgot the word. That bone there. I just learned on one of the classes and I forgot. V tool. Yeah, this is going to be V. Where are you? I got so many chisels that all almost look the same. Let me put things back here. Everything but my V tool, I see. Well, there's my big one and my V tool. And this is a V. Straight up and down. And we'll be doing some more rounding as we go. Like I said, I just want to kind of commit to the bust area. And now this is going to be still a little more, I want to say flatter here. I'll show you as soon as I get this in. As soon as I get this in. That's a little better. I'm just going to commit to a circle right now. Let me kind of put the center line in. And that's just going to go out. And in the back here. Whoops, a little more rounder. A little more rounder. I'll just leave that for now. I want to go up to the hair and hat. Well, let me get to the hair a little. The hair is almost, as far as depth and stuff like that. I'm almost, it's rounded a little bit for now. I'm pretty well happy with it in general. The hat, this hair is got to go in. Right. I need to cut off a little more on this side here. Okay, here's what we're going to do next. I have to really think about this now. Because here's what I kind of want to do. I'm going to do this. Like I said, if this was ironed out, it would be flat, okay? So that'll be kind of the center line-ish, give or take. And because I'm trying to think how I'm going to do this with the back. I think I'm going to take the back out first because there's still a lot of stuff going on here. Here, like I said, this is about generally the same, and this way, I want to do the same here. A little bit wider, just a little bit wider in the center, which means a lot of this is going to go bye-bye. Yep. I want to take my big round to see if the big round will help me get started here. Just want to remove a lot of lumber here. It's really interesting. I probably should have waited before all this is done, before I got to the lips. Sometimes I do jump the gun, and sometimes, people do jump the gun where they shouldn't. Now I'm going to begin a rounding process. Now I want to be careful here because this is going to come down. So I'll stop right there on that. But around this, let's look at my, okay. Now what's going to happen here, I'll do a little bit around, like I said, I'm trying to get a lot more careful. Taking what's going to happen here, where's a smaller, now I'm going to go a little more deeper here. To make sure this goes round. As I want this to go in a little bit. Because I want this to still round. I wonder if a knife will help in here for shaping. Oops, wrong way. I still want the hat a little on top, a little floppy, so it doesn't have to be exactly. And like I said, coming around, coming around. This is going to be the fun part. On top, not only is it on top, but I need control. It's not a matter of just whacking the saw marks off. I still need some control where it come down a little bit. And I can see there could be a disaster where I'll be needing Band-Aids. So, there's still quite a bit more I could take off here. And still maybe a little bit more off here. Like I said, I kind of went around it a little bit. Still a little too square in the back. Because we need to take a little more off here. Come down and around. Oops, that's okay. Now, like I did with the mister, is you can see how this is coming. See, this should come a little bit like this. Same with the back. And I'll take a little bit of that, a lot of the bit of that off. Now starting to round things a little bit. Okay, you could probably have it as like a sun hat. I still want to flatten this a little bit. Oops, buried the tip, sorry. I still need to round this more. Of course, it doesn't have to be overly perfect roundness, but I don't want anybody who sees this can see the squareness of it either. I'll take off. And still more shaping and playing. You want to really watch. You probably fast forward through a lot of this. Clean this a little bit. All right, I can kind of get it kind of started here. Maybe what I can do is one side and just shut her down and just do the eyes, and let me just do a little bit. It's all a matter of cleaning up. Cleaning and shaping. And again, let me take, this is what I want to do first. Let's go around. I did flatten it a little bit. It should be flattened, but I want to take and go deeper down around the hat part, not the rim part. There we go. Now it's going to work. Okay. So what I am thinking, let's start with the big chisel. And let's see, he's going to come in right here. Random. Take one. Oh, I got a bigger chisel. Just getting it started. I got a bigger chisel I should in my arsenal. Let's just start with a couple of big ones here, bigger-ish ones. Oops. Maybe do a couple swipes and make it wider. All right. Smaller chisel. Smaller. Now you might want to take one and that you've already done. You can see how it's starting to take shape. Now you might want to have this like a little sharp here, while this is a little flat over here. Something like that. And you want to take your knife and maybe meet the two, because now we're going this direction. Goes up. You know what? I think one of my, where's my little, the scout would help a little bit here. This will be a little wider. This will be a little sharper. This may come up. Oops. Now I come up this way. You see how that's going? Even though it's really hacky right now. And that's what we want to do. And we're going to stop there on that. What kind of time do I got? And make sure I'm still running here. I might have to upload. And there's a lot of other cleaning and so on. I wonder if I could just, I'm going to leave all of that and just go straight to the eye. Let's do that. I'm going to do this. A little bit of cleaning up. And I think it's going to be time for me to because I want to start a little bit of this going on here before I get to the eyes. Widen that a little bit. And like I mentioned, down this way. Well, here, one more time before I zoom in, because I got to do quite a bit of bearing down here before I get it up to the camera. A little bit of in, round in the forehead a little bit. And it's going to be the same. You got to round this a little bit. This is going to be the same thing. You're going to be doing some shadows, shading like you did with the Santa Claus mister. Now this, let's just do this right now. Put that in there. I'm just going to round a little bit because I want to get to the eyes, and I want to be pretty well done. It's just a matter of shaping. What are you going to do with the, I can maybe come back a little bit with the shaping. You still got to get underneath here like this. So you want some shading going on, shadowing going on in there. All right. I think that's probably more the critical part is let's get to the eyeballs. The rest is a matter of shaping and same here. You're just going to take a V tool. I'll just come back a little. At least let me get started on the eyes. Whoops, what happened here? Now, if I go here, this is comfortable for me. Where are you? Yeah, I think we'll do, that's about it right there. Okay, eyes. We got the eye line in. I'm whacking, like I said. That will be happening a lot because I want to make sure that you see this. Remember the small one here. A little more deeper and cleaner. Maybe a little bit cleaning of the nose. Going to do a little bit of prep. A little bit of the prep. Get out of there. Where's my, there it is. I think I need a stiffer brush. Yep. Okay, let's put the eyes in. Now I want to start with this because we want her to have a happy eye. And you know what? This is a darker or a harder lead. It's not coming out as well as I'd want. Now we're definitely going to do the same thing did with the Santa. Oops, I'm sorry. I got that committed. I forgot to commit this. There. Okay, we want to take, like right here, and up, around, and down. Same with on this side. This is going to be, where are you? Up, around, down, and across. And what we want to do for better control is just to, especially the ladies, this is more easier to do. As opposed to the guys, it doesn't have to be overly perfect, but it's got to go right about there. Same here. Oops, not too deep. We're just coming up to. And coming down. Now we want to put the pencil. Where do we want to put the pencil? Now we kind of committed to that. Okay. So with that, a little narrow and then wide, and then go down. Now here's wide, down, wide, back up, and narrow. And now I think we can do the same thing here. I think I prefer this is to, let's do the roundness. I think this is a lot easier. I did the opposite with the Santa, Mr. Santa's. I did the bottom first instead of the corners. We should do the corners. Now, was that in when I did that? Okay, And then we're going to round by making the top farther out than the bottom, as the eyeball is. Keep playing and rounding until it's correct. Same with here. Now we're going to come down. Now there's the eyes. Now the thing is, if I go like this, I don't know if you can see it. Oh, I can't see you seeing it. Okay, there's the where the nose is that it seems like there's more. I need more on this side. And that's where I come around there. And it is on this side. Because we want to see the eyes, well, we can't with the hair. I think we'll have to adjust the hair so you can bring this around more. And so we can do this with the cheek. Let's do a little bit more that make the cheek come out a little more when you do that. Yeah, you could see the eye. Now I want to do, like I said, without a chisel. I'd rather do a knife and do a quick for the bottom eyelid. Fixing the cheek a little bit and then scoop for the bottom eyelid. All right, now I want to take the Frankenstein creature forehead off her, make it more rounder. Now she will still have a little bit of a round forehead. Oops, I may have gone too deep there. And oh, I went the wrong grain, wrong way. Shoot. Which means we need to widen the eye a little bit. There we go. I did take some away. Take some away here. White, a little wider. And quite a bit of adjustments here and there to the eye, because I had to make it wider, so I have to, yeah, there is just a lot of crap here. Now for the upper eyelid, that's one of the things that, again, you got to take some classes from, like Ryan Olson will do this. Is this my second smallest? I think it is, and just do a little bit of this. This is more for the ladies because it's more, oops. Come back this way. And a little bit of shaping and adjusting. But if you want to, what I always do, is take my, oh boy, this really I gotta do some adjusting here. Yeah, I had to adjust because I had to cut, make the eyes wider, and so. Well, I'll have to work on it some more. I think it's because of power. Oh. All right. I had to take a little stopper here. Continuing on with the eye. I got the eye cleaned up. Well, as best I can for right now. Now I'm going to take just my tiny V tool. Where are you? Right here. Oh, that's not it. Right here. And just barely kiss just above the eyelid. Oops. I said just above, not there. Same with here. I'm going to start from the center. Okay. Now there's a lot of catching up, a lot of this and that. I'm going to kind of move on a little bit and get things relatively done or going here. I mean, like for example, the eye here. I'll come back later and just widen the eye just a little bit so it will match the other eye. The nose, what we want to do is round the nose just a little bit here. Now if I go like this, I think I think that might be just a little too high, just a little too high. And then by taking the height off, we might make it a little more rounded. And then I want to bring the cheeks up here. Cheek comes up to the smile, and that's kind of what's missing here. Take a little bit of the upper part off, and right here, right where the smile is, or the mouth comes, and that's what I might want to narrow the chin just a little bit. A little bit of roundingness. Take a bigger, just to make this a little rounder here. All right, now with the hair, I'm going to take just clean it a little bit and shape it a little bit. Am I in there? Yes, I am. What am I going to do here? Where's my chisel? My V. This will be kind of a V. Now the hair, I want to bring the hair up a little bit because it's kind of going in a bow. Her hair kind of come up on the top, a bow up on top. What am I saying? Bow? What is a bow? Kind of comes up underneath the hat. Get out of there. Same with on this side, I just want to separate between the neck and the hair. Go around that some more. I take my smaller V here and separate a little sharper to separate the neck from her shirt, from her blouse, pardon me, her dress. Using the flat part of the V to help me a little bit. Same with over here. Using the flat and go around. See, this raises this up, this collar, so that when I can take the knife, now I want to bend this just a little bit. There it is, the scrape. I hate it when it scrapes. Smooth this out a little bit. Oops, buried the tip. All right, and this needs a little bit more cleaning. Now I'll clean it up later. I'll make sure you guys get the gist of everything. Oh, my tools are now scattered about. All right, moving a little forward. And you know, there's a lot of all of this cleanup here. I'll do this on my own because I'm more want to make sure we got the gist of everything that's going on. Knife. I want to do now. Even though I'm going to separate this, the hair from the hat, the thing is that, well, it's basically getting started, because once I get into the hat fluffery, or whatever you call it, then I'll have to dig back in there again. Cleaning it up. Come over here, shaping it just a little bit. Cleaning it up. Get a little separation. Oops. Got a little too deep there. So a little bit of shaping here. I'll get back there later. That's a lot of crapola. I gotta take care of, but I just want to shape. Come over, am I coming out of center here? Okay, now I need and want my big tool. Where are you? And I want it to match the Santa, the hair, using the same technique. Just same here using. Now I'm going to keep it with the large 10 here. And if you want to make it, use a large 11, pardon me, and use smaller tools to make it more realistic. I hate it when it goes against the grain, or the wrong grain, wrong side of the grain going in the wrong direction. And then here, same thing here. I'm just going to do a little bit of the sort of like oops. Okay, there she is, needing adjustments, cleaning up. I'll do maybe, well, just Here, I'll do a couple more of these. Just getting it started, and then coming back with other tools. Smaller tools. Over here. Do a little sharpness over here. I got to remember, even after that, I'll the V tool again to get deeper. All right, I'm going to leave it at this for now. That's what I'm gonna do. All right, she's as far as I want to go, as far as anything major doings. On the video here, and then I'm going to put a little dent in here, maybe a little bit here like this. Something like this. And here is, I want to say, relatively done. As far as the only thing that's left is just kind of cleaning up, adjusting. Cleaning up, adjusting. Yeah, I'm just kind of almost like just whacking with the tools. And all right, let's just end with this. I will come back as soon as I get it all cleaned up. That's kind of the whole thing there. A little bit of adjusting, probably in the nose. She'll need a nose job. Get this straightened up. Get this probably more sharpened. But all in all, get to the eyes. Mouth. A little more adjusted on the neck. But that's where it is thus far. And when I come back, I'll have it all cleaned up and ready. Until then. All right, we're finished. I'm finished with her. I did not put any eyebrow fur on her hairs. I did clean it up quite a bit, a little bit of adjustment. I may have thinned the face just a little bit. Oh, there's odds and ends yet to do to make this thing a little better, so on and so forth. I think where she I've done hopefully a better job than the first. There's some odds and ends. I did not want to sharpen the cheeks that much, so this is kind of a semi caricature instead of it being realistic. The bottom lip may be a little forward like it should not be, but there have been a lot of people I've seen, ladies, men, who have the bottom lip forward. I'm going to do a little bit here, just a little bit here. Don't need it on the other side. What I've also done was I did a little undercutting where the loops is. The loops is where the higher point parts are, pardon me. That gives it a nice three-dimensional look. I went as far as I could or cared to. I'm sure if I, with the tufts of the hat, not the tufts, the hat brim, as it were. Went back. I think I might need a little more cleanup in the back. But I wanted the key item is that this was a face demonstration. But I did make a bust out of it, and I hope that those two will be happy together and get ready for the next. Ho, 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 who's to know? Ho, 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 okay. Till next time.